Summer break has a way of going sideways. You either drift through the first month barely remembering what day it is, or the moment you spot the back to school aisle in the store, you are panic prepping, which ruins the rest of your break. Either way you start the new school year already depleted.
This month in the club, you get the Tired Teacher's Summer Planner, a 5-stage system for designing a summer that actually restores you instead of one that just happens to you. We walk you through closing out the school year for real, figuring out which kind of rest you actually need, and gently prepping for next year without losing the back half of your break to lesson plans. You can try the club for free for 10 days at secondstorywindow.net/trial. This is episode 260 of Teacher Approved.
You're listening to Teacher Approved, the podcast helping educators elevate what matters and simplify the rest. I'm Heidi.
And I'm Emily. We're the creators behind Second Story Window, where we give research-based and teacher-approved strategies that make teaching less stressful and more effective. You can check out the show notes and resources from each episode at secondstorywindow.net.
We're so glad you're tuning in today. Let's get to the show.
Hey there, thanks for joining us today. In today's episode, we are talking about the first week of summer and how to actually decompress. Plus, we've got a teacher-approved tip for soaking up the full sensory experience of summer.
But first, let's start with a Try It Tomorrow, where we share a quick win that you can try in your classroom right away. Emily, what is our suggestion this week?
This week, we've got a couch task for you. You know we love a couch task. Spend 5 minutes decluttering your teaching Pinterest boards or your saved TikToks or those Instagram posts that you've been hoarding all year. Just go through and delete the ideas that now you realize you are never actually going to use. And that way you can easily find the good ideas when you need them.
Right. This is such an important step if you're going to save ideas, because you got to look for that one anchor chart idea, and then you have to scroll through 400 activities that seem awesome, but you're never actually going to use these. So just trim the dead weight, keep what's exciting, but still feels reasonable, and then just delete what isn't serving you anymore. It makes your saved content way more useful.
Plus, it is also weirdly satisfying because it's like cleaning out your purse. You don't realize how much clutter you're carrying around until you take some of it out. And then when you do, it's like such a big win.
Yes, it's like a whole new system.
Yes.
Well, if you like this idea or anything else we share here on the podcast, would you take a second and give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify? Ratings and reviews help new listeners find us, so everyone really helps. Okay, everyone, happy June 1st. We know some of you lucky souls are starting your second or maybe your third week of summer break.
But some of you still have 3 or more weeks to the finish line.
Oh, that's rough.
But they will still be at the beach when the early out crowd is heading back in July, so it all kind of evens out.
Yeah, I guess there's trade-offs. But whether you are in those first golden days of break or your golden days are still just a distant bright spot on the calendar, summer is a gift.
The problem with this gift, though, is that it doesn't come with any assembly instructions.
Yeah, you have been counting down for months. You've been telling yourself, if I can just make it to summer, everything will be fine. And then summer arrives and you wake up on day one and you have absolutely no idea what to do with yourself.
So you do what any rational person would do and you scroll your phone for a while. Maybe you take a nap. You feel weirdly unsettled about something you can't quite name and you wonder if you should be doing something more.
Or maybe you go the complete other direction. You decide that since you finally have time, you're going to clean out the garage, repaint the bathroom, and start lesson planning for next year. And by day 4, you're exhausted, your house is half torn apart, and you still haven't done a single thing that feels like summer.
Yeah, those are the 2 failure modes. We're calling them guilty rest and the productivity trap. And it's easy to fall into one or the other.
Or both. Honestly, both. You start with guilty rest, and then you panic about wasting your summer, and you swing hard into the productivity trap, and then you crash again. It's a whole cycle.
Yeah, we know that cycle well. When we were both still teaching, we had plenty of summers where we came home from the last day of school and collapsed on the couch for, 2 weeks, and not in a restful way, in the I literally cannot make a decision about what to do with myself way, and you just kind of become a vegetable on the couch.
Yes. become part of the couch.
Yep.
It was a combination of being so depleted that we couldn't function and not knowing what to do that was productive but still gentle. So we just defaulted to zoning out until we could stand the thought of starting to think about the next school year.
And then we dove in with fire. We had a whole system where we spent mornings working in Heidi's room and then switched to my room after lunch because I had a swamp cooler on my room and Heidi had no air conditioner.
Yeah. And calling it a cooler is a stretch of the word cool.
Yes.
And of course, the front office had AC, but the rest of the building was we're just at the mercy of that humidifying swamp cooler.
I can feel the stickiness now.
Yeah.
Don't miss that. But no matter your default approach to summer, having a plan helps. So we're offering a third option today. No guilty rest, no productive overhaul. We're going to do something in between.
Now, before you feel any pressure set in, let us reassure you that this is not about getting stuff done. To borrow one of Phoebe's great quotes from Friends, this isn't a plan. This isn't even a plah. It's just a way to give the first week of summer some intentional handholds so you don't lose it to drift or guilt.
And if you're already on your break, that's fine. Just start where you are. We're totally flexible here.
And if you've got a while to go to your break, just save this for later. It will come in handy. Okay, day 1 of your break. The prompt is to close in style. Your nervous system needs a signal that something has actually changed. You've spent the last 180 days walking into the same building and doing the same things. If you close out that last day of school the exact same way you closed out yesterday, your brain doesn't really clock that anything is different.
So let's mark the occasion. If you're low on energy, do the action hero version. Drop your teacher bag in the hall closet, then shut the door and walk away like you're an action hero walking away from an explosion. Do not look back. The bag is dead to you now.
Just take out any dirty dishes first, because I know I would make that mistake.
Yeah, don't leave your lunchbox in there. That would be sad.
Yeah, please avoid that. But if you really want to celebrate your moment of freedom, you could even turn on an epic song as your personal soundtrack. I checked, and I found a playlist on Spotify called Songs to Walk Away from an Explosion in Slow Motion. And I am partial to Seven Nation Army, but I think this playlist has convinced me to try some Fleetwood Mac. It kind of has a good pep to it.
Okay. Well, of course, there is a playlist. I love it. So I guess we'll link to that in the show notes. But do be aware that some of the songs are not kid-friendly, so be careful if your epic moment will have an audience. Maybe put your headphones in. This is just for you.
And if you have some energy left after your dramatic walk away, round up some teacher friends, hit the pool or go out to dinner, whatever marking the occasion looks like to you.
But you really don't have to do anything big. It just has to feel like a signal. The point is to put a period on the year, to end the day differently than every other day has ended for the last 9 months.
And that's our whole goal for day 1. On day 2, it's time to write your I can finally list.
I love this because making a list makes me feel like I'm doing something productive. But this list, the stakes could not be lower on this list. You sit down and you make a list of everything you can do now. You can finally drink your coffee while it's still hot. You can finally go to the bathroom whenever you want to. You can finally meet a friend for lunch on a Tuesday.
And it's okay if these sound really small. That's the point. The list isn't supposed to be impressive. It's just supposed to name all of the tiny things that you have been deferring for months. Because when you put them on paper, you realize how many of them there are. And that makes that shift from school year mode to summer mode feel real.
And if you're in the Teacher Approved Club, this month we have a printable I Can Finally list waiting for you in your member resources as part of our Tired Teacher Summer Planner. So if writing it out on a fresh piece of paper feels nicer than scrawling it on the back of an envelope, we got you. We will have the link in the show notes if you want to check it out in the club.
Now, day 3's task is to close the loops. And this one sounds slightly less fun, but stick with us because it pays off.
This is when you do a brain dump of every open school task that's floating around in your head. The thing you forgot to email the office about, the kid you wanted to follow up with, the supplies you need to reorder for next year. Just get it out of your brain and onto paper.
We're calling this the loose ends list. And you don't have to do any of it. You just have to decide when you're going to deal with it. Urgent things can go in the do now column. Less urgent stuff goes in the do later column. And then anything you decide that really isn't that important can go in the let go column.
The reason this matters is that those open loops are what nag at you while you're trying to relax. Your brain keeps pulling them up like, hey, remember this? Hey, what about this one? Once they have a home, your brain can let them rest. It is a small step, but it makes a huge difference in how restful the rest of summer feels.
And club members, we have a sortable list for this in your member resources too. It's in the same place as the I Can Finally list.
Day 4's task is to reconnect with fun. Plan something fun for this day, whatever fun means to you.
If that seems like a tough ask because you have forgotten what fun feels like, that's okay. Pick something that used to be fun or something that sounds fun in theory and try it. Maybe that's rounding up friends for a hike, or maybe an afternoon of jigsaw puzzling with snacks is more your speed. Whatever is enjoyable for you is the right answer.
Jigsaw puzzling is definitely more my speed than hiking. But just remember, fun is not a luxury. It's actually how you recover. So you're not being self-indulgent by planning a fun day. You're helping your system recuperate after being in high gear for so many months.
On day 5, it's time for a creative nudge. This is about waking up the parts of your brain that get turned off during the school year. When you're teaching, you are constantly managing logistics and putting out fires. The creative, playful parts of your brain don't get a lot of airtime, so they get a little rusty.
Let's turn one of those channels back on. Is there an old hobby you keep meaning to get back to, or a new thing you've been curious about? Maybe you want to pull out the watercolors you bought 3 years ago. Try that recipe you've been saving, or buy a fresh notebook and just doodle in it.
And again, this is not supposed to be ambitious. If you spend an hour doing it and decide it's not for you, that is fine. The point is the trying, not the outcome.
Okay, day 6, and it's our favorite. Your very important job for this day is to give yourself one indulgence. Pick something that you would normally feel guilty for enjoying and lean all the way in.
If you're not sure where to start, you can try borrowing a tradition from Iceland and plan an Isbjörntur. I think that's how you say it. And that is an ice cream road trip. I love that they have a culture around this.
Yes.
So pick the best ice cream shops within driving distance and visit one, or, go big, hit 3 of them in one afternoon. But if you're going to do that, maybe just skip the double scoops.
Yeah, I would need to remember the lactate.
Oh, definitely.
Or spend the whole day catching up on The Real Housewives in your pajamas, maybe with a charcuterie board.
Or read a romance novel cover to cover, or stay up way too late watching movies, or get a really nice coffee and drive around with the music up.
And here's why this matters. The thing that makes most of these activities not feel restful is the guilt. You watch 4 hours of TV and you feel terrible because you should have been doing something productive. You eat the ice cream and you feel bad about it later.
But making a planned exception to your normal standards just takes the guilt off the table. If you wake up on day 6 and you've already decided, today I have permission to enjoy this thing I love, no judgment allowed, it transforms the experience. The same activity that would have left you feeling gross now feels restorative.
Okay, we've made it to the end of our first week. It's day 7, and today's task is to peek ahead at the rest of the summer and start thinking about what you want to get out of it.
But we're not going to talk about making a bucket list. Instead, we are going to make a joy list. D. Michelle Perry posted about this on Instagram, and we think she nailed it. So I'm just going to read what she said. Bucket lists can start to feel like to-do lists, and I don't need any more to-do lists. They can be overly aspirational too. I want my seasons to be about where my attention is placed, not what I have achieved. Social media comparisonitis is a real thing. That's why I'm creating a monthly joy list that's accessible, adaptable, affordable, and creates anticipation for things to look forward to each month.
Yes, and that's the goal, right? Bucket lists, man, they can turn into to-do lists, and then we feel like we failed if we didn't check off enough of them by Labor Day, which is why I always refuse to make a summer bucket list with my kids, because I just know it will hang over me all summer. But a joy list is different.
Yeah, a joy list is, what would I love to pay attention to this summer, not what would I love to accomplish? Just think about the things you want to notice and do and taste and spend time on.
And those 4 words from her post are so useful. Accessible, adaptable, affordable, and creates anticipation. Your summer doesn't have to look like the summer you see online.
Yeah, there's no summer police. You're not failing if you don't go on a trip or host a backyard party or do whatever else the algorithm is currently telling you summer's supposed to be. Make the right summer for you.
And we're going to be coming back to this idea of designing your summer in our next few episodes, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's recap our summer decompression plan. Day 1, clothes and style. Day 2, write your I can finally list. Day 3, close the loops. Day 4, reconnect with fun. Day 5, revisit creativity. Day 6, do one indulgent thing. And day 7, peek ahead and make a joy list.
You don't have to do these in order, and you don't have to do all of them. If you are already into summer break, start with whatever makes the most sense for where you are.
And if you still have a few weeks until the end, use this episode to get your wheels turning. What do you want the start of your break to look like? Give yourself something to look forward to as you calm overhyper children and inventory all your cupboards.
If this idea resonates with you, you might already be thinking about how to bring more intention to every season, not just summer. And that's the heart of our upcoming book, Structure and Spark. It's the framework for letting each season of the school year work for you, not against you. And it's available for pre-order now. The link is in the show notes if you want to take a look.
Now for our teacher-approved tip of the week, where we share an actionable tip to help you elevate what matters and simplify the rest. This week's teacher-approved tip is to make a summer sensorium. Tell us about it, Heidi.
Well, we have talked about this before back in episodes 134 and 199, but since it happens to be summer again, how is it summer again? I'm so confused, but it is summer, says the calendar and the weather outside and my allergies. But that makes this the perfect time to revisit this idea. So a quick refresher on what a sensorium is. Your sensorium is your different sensory perceptions taken as a whole. So your brain takes the inputs from each of your senses and assembles them into your perceived experiences of a moment or, a day or the whole season. So if you want a summer that actually feels like summer and not just 3 months that happened, you have to intentionally include the sensory inputs that make it feel that way.
And that's actually a really fun exercise because you just need to take a minute to think about your favorite summer sights and sounds and textures, tastes and smells, then decide how to include them in your plans.
Yeah, think about how enriched you'll feel after a summer of sweet, drippy watermelon and chlorine-scented kids and twinkling fireflies and backyard dance parties and walking in the grass.
This is the magic of summer, and none of those things require a big expense or a big plan. They're all just sensory experiences that you can fold into a regular Tuesday. And it ensures that you're really savoring the full scope of what the season has to offer. So make yourself a summer sensorium. You can jot it down on a piece of paper, or Teacher Approved Club members, you can use the sensorium page in our summer planner.
All right, to wrap up the show, we are showing what we're giving extra credit to. Emily, what gets your extra credit this week?
Okay, I'm giving extra credit to a foldable silicone sink topper. So,
okay,
I have a broken sink. I have 2 sinks in my bathroom, and one of them has a crack, and I need to deal with that, but I haven't. So the water's turned off to it, so it's not being used for anything. And one of my daughters has also decided that that's where she likes to get ready, is in my bathroom where there's room. But she was dropping things in the sink all the time and just making a mess. And I was like, more counter space would actually be more helpful. So this sink topper, it has holes in it, but they're not big enough for like your stuff to fall through. And you just put it out over the sink, and they come in a couple different sizes depending what size your sink is. And you suddenly have all this extra counter space. And it even has enough room that if you wanted to turn your sink on, you could.
Is it flat like a tray?
It's flat like a tray, yes.
Okay, I've been picturing something that you curve that you set in the sink.
No. It's flat, and it goes far enough out from the side of the sink that it's sturdy enough that it can go across.
Oh, that's cool.
And stay sturdy. So I think this would be helpful any place you need more counter space, especially if you only have one sink and a small counter and you need a little extra space, or like in a half bathroom that just has one little sink, but someone needs to get ready in there. You just pop this out, and it's really easy to fold up and put away too.
Well, that's handy.
It is handy. What are you giving extra credit to, Heidi?
Okay, well, this is much less handy, but I'm giving extra credit to the trend of romanticizing your life. It's in my algorithm. It's all over Instagram recently. And the idea is to just take your regular life, but make it feel like an event we're showing up for. And I've loved that thought, but I'm busy and it doesn't seem super practical. But I happened to see some mugs on sale at the store, and they had a cute one that was shaped like a teacup and decorated with tulips. So I grabbed it and I use it to take my nighttime pills. And it really is just been the most fun little change up. It's like having a tea party with my melatonin. I even got a fancy teaspoon. So now I stir glycine into my pill water. And I feel like I'm in Downton Abbey or something.
I love it.
And I could have got a teacup, but I'm storing this in my bin with my pills. So I needed I was worried a teacup wouldn't be sturdy enough. So the mug works perfectly. And it's just been just a little smile at the end of the day. I love it.
If you're really trying to feel like you're going back in time, you can pretend that you're stirring laudanum into your drink.
Oh, there we go. Oh, man, I would sleep so good after that. Way better than glycine and melatonin. Well, put that on the list. That'll be our next extra credit.
No, it will not.
Okay, well, DM me for that one. Well, that is it for today's episode. Get started on your decompression plan or save this for whenever your summer actually starts.
And don't forget about our book, Structure and Spark, that is available for pre-order. The link for that is in the show notes, and it is a great way to support us if we've ever helped you with the things that we share.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Teacher Approved. I'm Heidi.
And I'm Emily. Thank you for listening. Be sure to follow or subscribe in your podcast app so that you never miss an episode.
You can connect with us and other teachers in the Teacher Approved Facebook group. We'll see you here next week. Bye for now.
Bye.